Hi, my name is Fareesha Dania binti Karasmi, and
And I am Inez Zulaika binti Zulkarnain.
you can call me Fareesha.
And you can call me Inez.
So we are a student from KPM Seri Iskandar. So today we are going to conduct an interview regarding culture differences in Malaysia. So can you introduce yourself? Tell me about yourself.
My name is Naresh Kanden, and I am 20 years old, and I'm from TAI Wangsa Mujistapa.
I see. So how can I address you?
You can call me Naresh.
We're going to start with the first question.
Okay.
So the first question is, are there any major differences in the way people communicate verbally compared to your culture? If so, could you give us a few examples?
As far as I know, there are no differences, only the languages. Malay people speak Malay and Chinese speak Chinese, and Chinese maybe some speak Cantonese, some speak Mandarin, but as far as I know, Tamil people only speak Tamil. So yeah, there's no big major difference.
Which language are you most comfortable in speaking in?
Honestly, I am comfortable in speaking these three languages: Malay, English, and Tamil. Mostly in my house, we will speak English and Tamil, and when I go and interact with people, I'll speak in English because everyone knows English.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your answer.
Okay, moving on to the next question. In your experience, how do people in Malaysia typically handle misunderstandings during communication? Do you think this differs from how misunderstandings are handled in your culture?
Based on my experience, from what I have seen, small misunderstanding can lead into big arguments and big fights. Like, for an example, you have to understand what the other person is trying to tell you. If not, it can lead to a big fight. Like, let's say you are telling something disrespectful, or maybe for you it's not that disrespectful, but for others it is disrespectful. So there is where the misunderstanding is starting. But if someone didn't give in, it can lead to a big fight. Or like brothers, like for example, me and my brother, sometimes we fight, and then it will like very like that was not such a big thing, and then it will lead to a misunderstanding, and then we'll end up fighting for no reason. Yeah, so you have to. I don't know about the others. For me, in my family, me and my brother often fight. It's a misunderstanding, basically.
I see.
So yeah.
Alright, so for the next question. Okay, so in Malaysia, we have a lot of different gestures, such as the hand raise during when we cross the roads. So have you ever had any misunderstandings with the locals because of any kinds of gestures?
No, I have not encountered any of those kind of misunderstanding. As far as know, people around me are very understanding.
So
it doesn't depend on cultures. Everyone, Chinese, Malays, Indian, everyone is very understanding people. So yeah.
All right, thank you.
For the next one, how important do you think body language is in communication here? Are there any specific nonverbal cues you have had to adjust with people from different cultures?
I think that body language is a very different component because body language uses to express your emotions and intentions. Like for an example, eye contact and the way you walk, your facial expression. When I say you have to, you don't need to stare into another people. Eye contact, basically, example. Let's talk about eye contact. Okay, you guys have heard about road race, right? Okay, so let's say you are in a road race, you have encountered some of those people, and then they get out of their car, those kind of road races, and it actually leads with how, like first they want to cut line, and then they won't allow you, and then they will stare you, they will wind down the window, and then they'll stare you. That will lead to a big fight. So that is the starting point. So your facial expression is very important. Your body language is very important component in these facts. Like there are many factors like this lah. So this is the example. I think that body language is very important. I don't know about other cultures, but about my culture, like Indians are basically Indians. Indians have to stare when they see another Indian. Like, for example, in my college, every time they pass by an Indian, he have to stare us. I don't know why. Like, is it? I don't know because is it Indian and Indian, or I don't know why they have to stare at us. Like, we always have this question: why do they have to stare at us? Like, why? Just be normal. I'm the same culture. I'm the same religion. Like, why are you staring at this? So yeah.
So regarding the eye contact, in the Western culture, it is a must for you to have an eye contact during a conversation with another person. But
Okay.
in my culture, which is Malay culture, when you're talking to someone older, you must like kind of like lower your head a bit because you can't make eye contact with them because this is kind of considered disrespectful.
I see.
Because Malays Malays and respect is very common, you know. So do you think um, this culture, um, this culture of not making eye contact with elders are the same in your culture?
I know for us, it's not the same. You can look at the others, but you have to reduce your tone of your voice. You have to speak very humble, like, very respectful. The choice of your words must be very careful. Like, let's say the way you communicate with your own age people is different, but the choice of word, you must choose your words very wisely. Sometimes it can be a bit disrespectful.
I see. All right.
So for the next question, what are some local slangs that you find unique or interesting?
Very simple. Malaysians like to use Ella, Ma, like behind the every conversation. For example, let's go eat some bread lah, come lah, join us. And then Chinese people like, hey, this also you don't know man, like that lah. So, yeah.
So you often use lah in your conversations?
Yeah,
Mm.
I often use it.
For the next one. So, what has been your experience with humor and jokes in Malaysia? Are there any cultural nuances for being a diverse country? How do you think the diversity in Malaysia impacts the locals?
I have no experience in jokes, in humors, so I can't give any opinion based on my experience.
I see. Okay.
All right. So for the next question, so Malaysia is known for being a diverse country. How do you think the diversity impacts the locals in Malaysia?
Okay, as far as I know, there's some positive impacts. As you see, we are in 21st century, and nowadays in schools, these Malay and Indians and Chinese are getting along very well. Back in those days, there were too many fights, racism, and all those fights. But now, the more time goes on, people are getting very close, like very understanding. The fight has been reducing. But like my time when I was in secondary school, like until Form 3, there will be fight. Definitely there will be fight. But time goes on after Form 3, they started to getting a bit matured, and then they stopped fighting, and then we all get along very well. Like, so this diversity helps us to get along very well, to understand each other. No racism. But you see, you know the drum, right? For every type of some people uses the Indian people. Now you can see in Malay people's wedding using that, like those songs. Like, you know Zubir Khan, right?
Yes,
Obviously,
yes.
everyone knows. So his song is a very famous song, and he is a Malay person, and he sang the release one Indian song, and there were some critics, like Malay people was asking, why are you releasing this Tamil songs or not Malay songs? And then he was like, I am Malay, and I grew up in an Indian estate, and I have many Indian friends, and they are very supportive. So yes, I am releasing this kind of song. So you see, this kind of people are encouraging the youngsters to interact with more Malay people and to be understanding with others. It doesn't have to be Malay and Indian lah. Any people, Chinese or Malays or Indians. It can be based on religion too, like Christians, more stuff. So yeah.
So in your friend group, do you have various kinds of races, or do you stick to your race only?
Yeah, I have many kind of races. I have Malay, Chinese, Indians, Christians, I don't choose people based on religion or what. If you vibe with me, yeah, they can what, no problem.
All right.
Can you share with us if you have any experiences where language barriers led to misunderstandings in your culture?
Um, in my culture, no, but I have seen people who had misunderstanding because of language barriers. Like, for an example, let's take Malay and Chinese. Malay people will be like, kita buat nanti dulu lah. And then basically he's telling we'll do it lah, we'll do later. And then this Chinese guy will be like, you just tell me lah, you want to do or not. For him, it's normal. He is telling in a normal way. But the Malay guy will take it as like very rude. For us, if you talk like that, it's a bit rude. For him, it's normal. So that's where the misunderstanding is starting. Like that is the language barrier. So for him, it's normal, but for the Malay guy, it is not. So you have to understand each other's language. If not, you will have misunderstanding.
I see.
So moving on, what do you think are the pros and cons of living in a multiracial country?
Okay, pros and cons. As pros, I think that, like I said just now, like people are getting very closer, and there are very understanding peoples, multiracial people, and we can also attract investors from other countries, because some likes multiracial country. For example, India is not a multiracial country. You can only see Indians in India. You cannot see maybe if you see other religions like Christians like that, but basically they're all Indians. But in our country, it's not like that. You have Chinese, you have Malays, and you have Indians, and these people have different religion, different castes. So this is a multiracial country. This can attract investors from other countries. So it can help us. It can help our country in economical way. For cons, I think that racism, very common thing. Maybe the racism has reduced time goes on, but there are still some racism. For an example, let me give you an example. In my college, Chinese people think that they are the best. They are the best. They are the smartest. They are the number one, because majority in our college is Chinese people. So they'll be like, you have to listen to them. They'll be very dominant. There will be much bullies, like, okay, they are the first class, the rest is all second class. Because 99% is Chinese, and 0.8% is Indians, and 0.2% is Malays. So it's like that. So basically, they are very dominant, and sometimes they will bully you. So you have to be very careful. You have to be mentally, physically, you have to be strong to face these kind of challenges. So yeah.
Okay, so has come to an end. So this is the last question that I'm gonna ask you. As someone who born and raised in Malaysia, have you noticed any difference in the way people from different cultural backgrounds are perceived or treated in Malaysia over time?
Treated in Malaysia over time. Okay, one first example is, like I said just now, in the colleges that those bullies, those dominating. And then the second thing, I think that in Malaysia, basically this is a Malay country, so no offense, guys. So if you think Malays are Bumi Putra, right? So when you see those Bumi Putra, they have many privileges. Yeah, you agree, right?
Yes, we
yeah,
agree.
no racism, this is just
yes, we agree.
Okay. Now, Bumi Putra, they have many privileges. Like, for example, metrics. Yeah. So Bumi Putra have more privileges for getting into metrics, right? Like, if you are Bumi Putra, if you have 2-3 A's, you can enter metrics because you are a Bumi Putra, you are a Malay. But if you see other culture people like Indian Chinese, the chances of getting into metrics are very low. Even though you have 5-6 A's, the priority goes for Malays. So one thing is that, and Another thing is maybe as far as you know, I think that's the only thing lah. The rest of the things people are just thinking like evolving. Nowadays they're just give and take lah. Only the main thing is this, because after SPM, first step for everyone is getting into universities. So people who have don't have enough money, have financial situations problem, they tend to drop their studies and go work because they don't have enough funding. Even though they take a loan, PTPTN loan, they have to pay back. You cannot just like left it like that. So when, like, say an Indian is taking a good result, like 5, 6 A's, he's a very poor family. He came from a very poor family. He don't have enough funding to continue his studies. So he is applying metrics. Let's say, what are the chances of him getting into metrics? It's very low, because the first priority is for Bumi Putra. And then the second is whoever took more than 5 A's. So like his chance is very low. So that's all. Other than that, I don't think that we all are just equal.
I see.
Even in, I think even in workplace also, this happens a lot. Priority is Malays. And even in sports team, sports team, if you see like Malaysian teams, our national team, there are only Malays. Come on. Obviously, there are some Indians who plays very well. And if you see, for an example, you see Tanabalan, I don't know where he is. Do you guys know Tanabalan, is it?
Sorry.
No. Okay, he's a Malaysian footballer. He was playing for under 21, if I'm not mistaken. And then, the blink of an eye, guy just went somewhere else. I don't know where he went. He was like very good striker. And then he wasn't promoted to national team, and he's just gone like that. Like, some people have real talents, but these coaches, sometimes they get money from the parents so that their children can play. And their first priority is for Malays lah. They want Malays to play. Like, no racism, but no racism. This is just what I have seen lah, based on my experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's all from us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time.